Well, hello, I'm here with Lexi Mossman as a part of the Michigan Kinesiology Alumni Series. Lexi is a 2015 graduate of the School of Kinesiology in Athletic Training. Lexi, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here and talk with you, Michael.
Awesome. Well, this is homecoming week, and we're very excited to be celebrating homecoming, even though it's going to be virtual and a little bit different this year. And to start, I'd like you to tell me your favorite homecoming memory. It could be something associated with homecoming week, could be football. What's your favorite memory from your time at U of L?
That's a great question. And I'm sure, as you can understand, being a student, in athletic training, homecoming weekend is a lot different for me than it was for my peers. This was a really busy weekend for athletics. And being a student with the sports teams, this was a chaotic weekend. We were running around, and I remember a weekend I was with the field hockey team, and we just had a massive match. It was a big deal, and I had parked my car near the field hockey stadium, and we had won this big game. We were very excited. Then we run over to the football field, and we watched the game, homecoming game, very exciting. I mean, I'm in my polo and khakis. I look a little bit different than the rest of my peers. And then we ran back to field hockey to clean up, and my car was gone. And
Oh,
I was a student, and I didn't have the proper pass.
oh
And as soon
no.
as that game had ended, so I spent the rest of the homecoming weekend having to go and untow my car. But it was funny
Oh.
because I think people thought I had a wild homecoming weekend. Like, Mossman couldn't find her car, but actually it was just that we had so many great, athletic events going on, and it was a lot of work for an athletic training student.
Yeah, I would imagine. Wow, that's a very interesting homecoming story. You lost your car because you were too busy doing things related to athletic medicine.
Exactly. I think a lot of people might have lost, their car keys or their phone that weekend, but for
Uh,
me, I was just running around helping a lot of the athletes out.
Yeah, very different experience. It's funny. I don't think the average person that goes to a football game really realizes all the things that go on behind the scenes with the athletic medicine staff, the student athletic trainers, the team physicians. It's very much a collaborative effort.
Absolutely. And I'm really glad that you pointed that out because, even now as an alum, being in the real world outside of Michigan, so many people do not realize that. And being a part of this team was A, super meaningful. B, I learned a lot. But C, I felt a part of a team. And that is very, very special, especially at the University of Michigan, where, these athletic programs were known around the globe. And so to be a part of that on game day, it's special. And to, wake up and team breakfast and then get everyone ready, and my job is I'm getting these athletes in their bodies and their minds ready to perform for our school. And then when they're out there, you really feel a part of that, and yeah, it's a pretty spectacular feeling to feel a part of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you talked about that being special. I'm sure that there's a lot of other special experiences you had when you were at U of M. So looking back at your time as a whole at U of M, is there any experiences that come to mind that you want to point out?
No, that's a great question. And then, I was thinking about this a little bit, and it's so hard to pinpoint one. And I think for me, something that was so special is just like the pedigree of your time there. It's exciting having peers. And I was also a part of Greek life, and I was in a sorority. And I'm also part of one of the smallest majors at Michigan. And so to have all these different experiences, and for me, I really took advantage and I utilized those. For Greek life, that allowed me to meet a lot of really great people and help me for careers in the future. Athletic training, I mean, that allowed me to create a company at 22. And so I think that taking advantage of every single scenario overall was very meaningful. It's hard to pinpoint, the
Yeah.
little things because overall, 4 years at Michigan is just an undeniable experience that I'm very proud I got to experience. I'm very lucky that I got to experience.
Yeah, you talked about the small school nature of kinesiology, which is very true. And then there's the even smaller school nature of the athletic training program, which is kind of a subunit in and of itself. Talk a little bit for a second about what that experience was like to be part of this big, massive university community that is University of Michigan, but also in this very close-knit community, which was the athletic training program in kinesiology.
It is really small. And it's a great experience to have that because it can get overwhelming. Actually, I went to Michigan knowing no one. I'm from Nashville, Tennessee, and I was meeting people from all over, and I love that. And I really didn't know anyone. And it was fun to be in this big environment in this massive undergrad community, but then to show up to a classroom with just 9 other peers, and we were together for 4 years. It really allowed us to connect on that deeper level. It's hard in these big classrooms to check in on each other. How are you doing mentally? How's your class schedule? Are you able to keep up with fitness outside of class? And with a small class size, you really get to connect with each other. And one of my favorite memories, actually, with the 10 of us, my little class of athletic training students, as you know, at the end of our 4 years, we're allowed to sit for our boards. And it's a really big deal. And you want to become a board certified athletic trainer. That is our dream. And we're all in our cap and gown. We're about to have our kinesiology ceremony. And one guy, Matt, kind of taps all of us on the shoulder and was like, we just got the email. And so all 10 of us pull out our phones, and down the line, all 10 of us, we had passed. And then we literally walk across the stage.
Wow.
And it was just the coolest, meaningful moment because the 10 of us had that time together. And, that is the experience. It's also special to really separate, that like hard nose in the book lifestyle with the, take a breath, enjoy college lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
And so to have those different groups of people was really healthy. I thought it was really exciting to have that. And we were really there for each other. So, our group of 10 from the class of 2015, we were very close. And it was very special to have that small knit group. And then we all passed our boards together and then, walked across the stage. That was a moment I'll never forget.
Yeah, that's an amazing experience. Do you still keep in touch with your classmates?
Yes, actually, we really do. Me and one of my best friends, Nicole, we both recently just got engaged. We've been talking about that. Another girl, Renee, actually just got married, and Matt got married, Taylor. So we're all really connecting. It's really cool. And then and randomly, in Vail, a lot of people from all over come to Vail. And not that long ago, I ran into a gentleman who's on the hockey team at Harvard. And I knew that someone from my class happened to be a GA there at Harvard. So I talked to them and they knew each other. And so it makes the world very small, and it's nice to always stay in touch. And it's also nice because, for me, I run my company entirely on my own. Mm-hmm. So to still have this network of individuals that care about each other and that know what athletic training is, it's so nice to have that. If we have questions about difficult clients, or if we want to learn how to grow ourselves through our professions, we can call each other. And it's really nice to have that.
What would you say, because you're very passionate about what you do, obviously, and you're very passionate about the experience you had at U of M. What would you say to that 18-year-old guy or girl right now that's like, man, it's a master's degree. I don't know if I want to take the time. I don't know if I want to spend the money. Obviously, this has been something that's very fulfilling to you. So what would you say to the person that's doing that cost-benefit analysis right now?
That is such a great question. And I think I'm going to answer this question differently than a lot of folks. And I think that's because I approach, new learnings in my life right now. And to speak to that 18-year-old male or female, I would tell them to approach it with what do you want to do big picture with your life? And of course, with things like athletic training, they make it appear that the career path is fairly narrow. And it doesn't have to be. But so I would suggest for them to look at a big picture and say, okay, is this the knowledge that I want to obtain? Do I want to learn about the body? Do I want to have such an extensive knowledge that I could create my own company after this? That I could help people of all ages and all athletic abilities? And for me, that knowledge is so powerful that I would just encourage them that if they're interested in it, versus getting defeated by the timeline, the wages, the potential narrowed path that the career says it has to be, and to not be so limited by that. And instead find the power in that possibility and say, this knowledge is something I can do so much with. Do I want to teach? Do I want to be a parent and teach? Do I want to start a career and a life? And I think that this knowledge allows you to do so much. So I always think about power of possibility there.
Yeah, I love it. And I'm so glad you talked about kind of the potential diverse nature of where a degree from U of M and a degree from U of M in athletic training can take you, because the conventional path is, hey, you take your boards, you pass them, you go work for a hospital system or a physical therapy company, being an athletic trainer for high school. You've got a different path. You started your own company, Mountain Fit, and I really want to dive into that. I mean, I started my own company about 5 years after I graduated from U of M. You did it very shortly after, at a much earlier age, which is very impressive. So talk to us a little bit about Mountain Fit. What was the genesis behind you taking your athletic training background and experience and then pivoting it into a company like Mountain Fit?
I love talking about this. I'm so glad you asked. And to be totally honest, this was not something that I had planned out by graduation. I didn't have a business plan at graduation saying, okay, I'm leaving Ann Arbor, I'm going to Vail, and here's Mountain Fit. What ended up happening was I was so proud of my degree. And when I came back to Vail after graduation and I was telling everyone, this is who I've helped. This is what I did at Michigan. I'm board certified. I was so excited. And something about me personally is I'm very community minded. I love to surround myself with good people. So what ended up happening very naturally was that actually all my parents' friends in this valley that are, in their 50s to 70s and extremely active. I live in a town where anyone here can be considered an elite athlete, truly. I mean, they're mountain biking, they're skiing powder, it's awesome. And they would call me and say, hey, I know you helped that guy on the Michigan hockey team or that female Michigan field hockey team. I hurt myself today. I felt this pain. This has been bothering me. Do you mind just coming over and taking a look at it? And absolutely, of course. I couldn't believe that I had all this knowledge, time, and energy, and that I wouldn't put it to use. So I just started going over to people's homes and, yeah, don't worry, you don't need to see a doctor. And then all of a sudden I was realizing, okay, if I didn't exist, what would they have done? And there really was very limited options. Okay, you can wait in the urgent care waiting room. You can go to the ER, but you might not really need to. You can just wait it out and hope for the best. And what I started to realize was that as athletic trainers, even at 22, I felt like I had so much knowledge. And I had been taught at Michigan, it was such a disciplined program. I was taught I needed to be available and ready to help people. When an athlete comes off the field to the sidelines, I'm there for them. And so for me, all I was thinking was, okay, I was taught to be there for these Michigan athletes, in these maize and blue jerseys. I was looking for them and they needed me. I was ready to help. And all I said is, okay, I have the same knowledge. I'm still qualified. Let me just expand who I can help. And that is Mountain Fit. I started seeing, active and injured locals and vacationers coming to mountain towns. I treat them the same way with the same care and attention I do as my Michigan athletes. When they call me, I'm available. I go to them. Do full injury evaluations. We do injury prevention. We do rehab protocols. And I'm treating them the way that they could be treated as if they were, a collegiate athlete. So for them, it's very special. And for me, all it is expanding our career just to help more people. It's very exciting too for the whole Vail community. I'm keeping people out of waiting rooms that don't need to be there. I'm allowing people on vacation to have a more confident time on the mountain if they thought they couldn't ski or snowboard because of a certain injury, and then I'm there, I can help them and get them right back on the slopes. So it's been an amazing adventure, but it just all started with, I have skills, let me utilize them and let me help more people in my community.
Yeah, like you said, you're very community minded. It's almost like it's community outreach, athletic training to a certain extent,
Absolutely. I love how you said that. Absolutely.
which is amazing. And what did the rigors of the Michigan education give you that allowed you to be a successful entrepreneur?
That is an awesome question. I love talking about this because I am very confident in saying that if it was not for the University of Michigan Athletic Training Program, I would not have been capable to start a business, not just because of the skills, but because of who they taught me to be as a person. And, at 18 years old, I had to interview to be, a member of the athletic training program. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that, but, we have a whole interview process. It's not just keep up your grades and show up to class and put it on your schedule, but you have to actually interview for this. But I think something that was very important that this program taught me was mentorship. Mentorship for me is huge. I don't care how old you are or how high up you are in your company. Everyone needs great, solid mentors. And at Michigan, you're provided with these preceptors and these supervisors. And these people become dear friends and supervisors and mentors to you for the entire semester. And I did a really good job in Michigan of carrying those relationships on after I was with them for that semester and then also into, after graduation.
Mhm.
So I think, creating those great mentorship relationships. I would also have to say that it's a very empowering experience treating an athlete, treating someone who's going to be on TV on Saturday, or treating someone who's planning to play professionally or in the Olympics for their career. So when Michigan gives you that confidence to say, we're teaching you how to do something, we're now going to be putting you with the sports team, and we need you to apply these skills right now. That is this confidence it's just naturally built.
Yeah.
And when you do things correctly and you help someone, have a great day, on the field, that's a confidence builder. So already graduating, I knew like I can help people. It wasn't just like, okay, I've studied, I know what the book says to do, I know how to tape an ankle. Instead, it was no, I know how to talk to people, how to help people, and how to get them back to feeling like a great athlete. So that confidence was huge, and that mentorship it was unparalleled in our program for sure.
That's awesome. Yeah, it sounds like it's not just the technical skills; it's the interpersonal skills that you got. It's kind of the emotional fortitude you're able to develop. That's great.
And it's also, I think it's a very cool thing. Let me think about how to phrase this real quick. I, for me, living in a sorority house and also being in the athletic training program, I was kind of this like oddball at points where, everyone else is sleeping in at 4:30. I have practice.
Yeah.
And so I think a big lesson it taught me is that like hard work can be determined by the individual self and not by the culture around you. And I think that's really important because, I live in an area with, a few ski bums,
Yeah.
but I was 22. And when I moved here, I think I was also kind of that same oddball of I want to work my tush off and I
Yeah.
want to start a company at 22 years old. And that never felt weird because at Michigan, that was the norm. The norm was that you're going to be different. You're going to work a lot harder and a lot longer hours than anyone else in college. And there's going to be a lot of great benefits to that. So I would also say that it was just such a massive piece of that program that I still carry into my personal and my like professional daily life now.
Yeah, I think the same thing for me. The Michigan difference set the bar really, really high for me. And that's just a bar that I just seem to keep resetting throughout my career. And I mean, even at 22, it seems like you're already starting to do that on your own, which is great.
Yeah, actually, if you don't mind, I have a really quick, great story for you that I think kind of ties all this in. So I just moved out here, and it's starting to become like ski season. It's around Christmas time, and I just like registered Mountain Fit. I was like getting my products in, I was ready to treat people, and all my insurance was taken care of. And I was like, all right, I am ready. And I'm in the lift line, and there's a gentleman next to me with his wife. And we both see someone skiing down like into the lift line, and they're wearing a Michigan shirt. And me and the gentleman at the exact same time, we both yell, "Go Blue!" And of course, we turn to each other, and then we start talking. And he graduated in the 70s, I believe, and I had just graduated. He asked me what I was doing for a living now. I told him about my company, Mountain Fit. I said I just started a company, and we do athletic training for anyone here in Vail, whether you're on vacation or you're a local. And he was like, "Well, you're a Michigan grad. I want to support you. Can you come over today to our hotel room and treat the family? We love to see what you can do." And part of that was very exciting because it was just great to connect with another alum. But I've always carried that story with me because my first client trusted me based on my degree. They heard Michigan. And for me, I carry that with me every time I see a client. I am so proud of this degree. And I want to make sure that every time that I see a client, that I'm representing that. And that's a very, very big deal to me. But it's a cool story that I love that my first client ever hired me strictly because they said, you know what, you're a Michigan grad. We're proud of you for starting something. We'd love to give you a shot.
That's perfect. I
Is
love
that
it.
a cool story? I love that.
That's an amazing story. So Lexi, where's Mountain Fit going? I understand where you're at, but where you're going? We're post pandemic here. We were talking about some of your plans. What's the vision? Where are you headed?
Great question. So Mountain Fit, we're going through a lot of creative changes here. And our still, our number one goal is just helping people in these mountain towns. A really cool thing is that we're going to be venturing more into telemedicine and sports equipment. So that equipment can be exercise equipment, sports recovery equipment. I'm kind of putting it into categories of prepare, perform, and recover.
Mm-hmm.
But the great thing about this in our transition is that I can actually help a lot more people. With telehealth, you do not have to be in Vail, Colorado. I don't have to have a car to come and drive to you. If you're in Park City, Utah, if you're in Aspen, if you're in Breck, if you're in any of these mountain towns, I'm a call away. If you have a question about an injury that's going to affect your ski season, your bike season, if you want to do rehab, it's going to help you get back on your skis, I am still here for you. And the cool part about that is we're doing video tutorials and all the products that are going to help you get mountain fit without me having to show up and touch you in person and be in your home or be in your hotel room. So we're transitioning to telehealth and a lot more product-based sports medicine services. And I'm really excited about that. And if I just keep channeling and thinking about how can I help more people, this is the way. And I'm really excited about what's going to happen. And just the opportunity to to spread the services to other mountain towns. And I want to keep it, that mountain specific. I think there's so many people out here that can use an athletic trainer and they can use the knowledge that I have. And so to keep helping these people that are these great athletes, whether they think so or not, whether they have that title or not, I have the opportunity to help them. And so telemedicine products, we are here for you.
That's great. And just so everyone knows that they hear this and they're interested, what's your website? How do they get all this great information?
Thank you for asking. That's very sweet of you. The website is mountainfitco, like Colorado.com. So mountainfitco.com. And the cool thing right now is everything on the video side is for free. If you have a question about why the inside of your knee hurts when you're hiking downhill on these beautiful fall hikes right now, there's a video for you. We love to help. Send us your questions. We'll send you guys videos. We have the products. We have some stretching mats there and some foam rollers there and massage balls there and a hat that says trees hurt in case you hit a tree and need to call us.
Love it.
That's like one of our best sellers actually is the trees hurt hat. So it's great.
I love it. I love it. So to round this out, you have at least the kinesiology portion in the Michigan community listing and hopefully some other people as well. It's a tough time right now for everyone. You're a very positive, energetic person, which I love. Is there anything you want to leave the U of M community with in terms of some thoughts and some inspiration for this tough time?
I absolutely would. And I say this a lot to current Michigan students or to other alums. And I just want to remind everyone that you are the leaders and the best, and take that seriously. And I've said it before in this interview, but I want to say it again, that there is power and possibility in what you want to do with your degree, and utilize your degree and get creative with it. But you are the leaders and the best. And so be a leader, strive to be the best, and you have the power to do that. And I'm here for you as a future, as a fellow alum, I'm totally here for you. And if you guys ever want to connect entrepreneurship, sports medicine, anything, I want this to be a community and I'm here for you guys.
Awesome. Lexi Mossman, Mountain Fit and the Power of Possibilities. I love it. Thank you so much for your inspiration and your energy. We look forward to seeing all the great things that Mountain Fit's going to do in the coming years.
You are so kind. This has been really fun. Thank you for the support and thank you for this opportunity. I always love connecting with Michigan however I can.